Generally, myself, I'm known as Nepal is my third home. My first is Britain, second is in India, third is in Nepal.
What a wonderful.
I am the chairman of
Pleasure.
the Nepal All Party Parliamentary Group. I have visited Nepal 5 times in my capacity as a member of parliament. And I have met your most senior parliamentarians and the bureaucrats, both in India, and I also welcome whenever they visit Britain. I work very closely with all the ambassadors in UK, Nepalese ambassadors. But I'm trying to give you this background not for any other reason other than that it was not a momentary reaction that I wrote a letter. It is my personal engagement with Nepal and Nepalese people, both in Britain and in Nepal. We have written, government has taken some initiatives, but we wanted those initiatives to be more public. And I wanted to raise the awareness, both the communities in Britain, that how they can be supporting. So that's why my going on the social media, writing to the minister, bringing that letter on the public arena to show that we have, as parliamentarians, have asked the minister to get involved. And the British government should not ignore Nepal and the plight in Nepal at the moment. And I'm quite confident. I do not have received any response yet on a verbal, which is not, it's nothing important. Verbally, they have assured to take every step to assist Nepalese with the vaccines and other resources to be sent to Nepal. I mean, we are pushing it, and we are pushing it at all levels. That's where I have asked the minister already. We are asking the communities as well, not only the Nepalese communities, all the people living in Britain, that this is the time we must stand by Nepal, where we are asking them to stand by Nepal, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. It's all the communities working together. It is not that we are only relying on the government. We are relying on the charity organizations. We are relying on actively on the individuals. As you know that Ravi, Monty, Shrestha, Kolacharya, and many other people are working together as a community to raise the resources and the resources to send to so it means that the Nepalese community is very active in Britain to make sure that they can use their resources to buy and send through other charity organizations. I do not support individuals taking on their shoulders. We need to look at like Red Cross, any other charity organizations which have the reputation to deliver. So we need to look at that. So we are asking, I'm very closely working with the Nepalese ambassador in London. We are nearly on speaking terms nearly on every day, sharing our concerns and what steps has been taken. So we are very proactive in Britain to make sure that at the time when Nepal needs Britain, they come out properly, because Nepal have served Britain loyally for more than 200 years. No other nation in the world has supported Britain more than Nepalese people, particularly the Gorkhas. And we all regard that. As I said in the beginning, Thira, that I am very loyal with the community, and the community is very loyal to me in Britain. So I do not want to give this impression even that I'm not taking interest. I'm on the front fighting with the community, not for the community. Remember, we are working together. We are not saying, I'm the leader, you just follow. No, I'm saying we are all leaders. We have to work together wherever we are sitting. We need to take and put pressures on your local MPs, and you put pressure on the local communities, any other organizations who are capable to deliver at the time of difficulty. They should be asked to do that. I take your point that these are the long established meetings, and there's very few minutes mentioned in that. We are ongoing. We are not waiting for the next month's meeting or the climate change meeting in November in Glasgow. We are on a daily basis. We are talking to people. We are saying that in the Indian subcontinent, which means India, Nepal, and other countries, are also suffering, and how we can help. We can help by providing oxygen cylinders. We can with the vaccinations and others, but also raising the awareness amongst the communities living in Nepal, the people in Nepal, to say that you can help yourself as well. Means follow the guidelines. These are we need to guide them, advise them, like we are doing in Britain. We are asking people to get the vaccination when you are asked to come and get it. Don't ignore it, but at the same time, follow the guidelines. Last year, Tiara, I was also hospitalized with COVID.
Oh, yeah.
So I know the difficulties. I know how painful it is. So I don't want anybody else to go through this pain individually, and then look at the pressures on their families when they are suffering. When one person in the family is suffering, it means the whole family is suffering. It's the stress, it's the pressure, it's the fear and the pain. So we need to educate people. We need to advocate amongst the people to say, look, this is not only the vaccination, which will help, but you need to protect yourself as well. Use the precautions, follow the guidelines, make sure that distance, washing hands, not hugging too much, as it is in our culture that we always hug each other. So when you especially meet after many days and months, so avoid that. But at the same time, we are asking British government and the other governments with the community help to help the Nepalese people at the time of difficulty. I think that these people just saying things. I mean, letter written to the Prime Minister is good enough. Okay, because the Prime Minister, the Queen is not going to act upon it. She will pass on the letter to the Prime Minister.
Exactly.
Prime Minister will act upon it, right? So it is already raised. I don't think that will be good to write. I'm asking, which I did, and they are quite actively involved, Ravi and others on this line, that we are asking British MPs to put pressure on the Prime Minister and the Minister. That's why we are asking the Nepali community, other communities in their own areas, write to the Member of Parliament. There's a little bit difference here. When we get, as a Member of Parliament, I'm talking now, when I get a letter, when I get approached by my constituents, which I had when lobbied by hundreds, because I work very closely with all the different groups in Nepal, in Britain, the Nepalese groups in Britain, whether they are the Gurkhas, whether they are individuals and other groups. I work very closely with them, so that I have that privilege that many people don't have. But I do ask them, look, you are living in Gloucester, you are living in Rochdale, you are living in different parts of the country. Go to your local MP, write to your local MP to say, we want. When I was getting the signatures from the other MPs to sign my letter, that's what I was saying. Tell your MP to sign my letter. Because MPs need your votes and they cannot ignore. I think it's very difficult for me to say that when you will get it. Yeah. I will definitely, like a previous one, we as soon as we wrote, we have shared it. I have spoken to the minister. They have sent nearly 2 million worth. So it means that they are. It is in the pipeline. They are aware of it. They are proactive. I'm not attacking the government because they are from the different political party. I always say this is the time we need to work together. We need to support each other rather than attacking each other where you failed, why you missed it, why you didn't think before, why you didn't talk about it. That is the past. How best we can take learning from the past, how best we can take it forward. I spoken to the Prime Minister. I said to the Prime Minister, look, I'm not here to attack you. I'm not here to question you. I'm here is that we have failed in certain areas, which is now recognized. That it was a miss, it was a slow response, so that we can follow it, learning from there. We take a step further so that it is not repeated in future. I'm working on the basis of, in the last many years, I promoted tourism, I promoted trade between Nepal and Britain. Whenever I visited Nepal or in Britain, we have any tourist attraction promotions taken in Britain, I always led that with the help of my other colleagues and with the ambassador. I'm working on that with the International Development Committee. I'm working very closely for the education of girls, skill training, and I work with many charities in Nepal. And I'm also making sure that they provide that when the girls are taken away from their homes, that trafficking, I'm working against that, that they should be supported. The girls who've gone through the difficulties, education, training skills, and making sure that all the areas which everybody wanted to have the benefit should be given. Mainly at the government level, I'm asking the government for the better trade relations, investments in Nepal, encourages investors to invest in the areas which benefit the Nepalese community, not the investors' few extra pounds profits. It is where the local communities can benefit. The third, I'm very passionate, and I have asked every Prime Minister in Britain to visit Nepal, because that will help to highlight the importance, because no Prime Minister of Britain has ever visited Nepal yet. I have asked every Prime Minister during my period that he and she should make a point to go to Nepal and highlight the importance of our relationships. And that is only can demonstrate when the Prime Minister of Britain goes, so that communities are aware. I think under the present Prime Minister, it will happen. I have some confidence in the present Prime Minister, though it is from the different political party. But if failing that, the previous Labour leader had publicly announced that he will visit. But it is too late on him because he could not become the Prime Minister. I will be asking my leader, my political leader as well, to visit Nepal if failing. But I will ask the Prime Ministers of any shape, whether they are conservatives or Labour, or if at any time becomes then somebody else, they should make it part in their diary to visit, because it is like a family. 200 years of relationships are very close relationships. It's not the relationship that you have only when you are building up trade. Nepal never benefited from Britain. It's Britain benefited from Nepal, and Britain should be repaying it back in all shapes and forms. Two things I wanted to say. One is that this is an issue which is the COVID-19, whether it's the first stage, second stage, or whichever level we are at the moment. It is a global.
Yeah.
It's not only one country issue. And this variant or virus don't have the boundaries. They don't see the barriers. They spread. So it can happen anywhere. So we need to work together. Every country, every citizen, every human being need to work together, support each other at this difficult time. This is not a Nepalese, Indian, Pakistani, Bangladeshi, or British issue. It's a global issue. So that is first thing. We must make it in our diary, in our minds, in our body's structure, that we are one and we need to fight against this virus. That is what we can work together in part. Wherever you can support. So it is not the time of making money and the profits. It's a time to saving the humanity, saving the human beings on this planet. If we are looking for our future generations, we must support each other, follow the guidelines, take the vaccination whenever it is available, because there's a shortage and we accept it. But until then, we need to use those precautions and follow the guidelines. In Britain, we are determined to provide all the support to Nepalese and other communities in the world, wherever we can, because Britain is one of the richest countries. They have a wider responsibility, and we are, as a part of the British society, I assure the Nepalese people, you are not ignored. You are part of us. You are in our prayers and in our minds, and we will carry on doing it.